Hi friends, thank you for watching this YouTube video today. If you like it, please like, subscribe and leave a comment, maybe share your experiences with me on the same thing as what I'm going to talk about today, which I'll come to in a minute. I hope you're coping, and if you're not, that's absolutely okay, but please reach out and speak to someone you trust because you don't have to go through this alone. Today's video is a little bit different to the kind of things spoken word wise that I normally do. It's a little bit of fun. I wrote this poem / spoken word piece during lockdown 2020, and it's all about my Tinder experience through lockdown, specifically my Tinder experience with men through lockdown. So feel free to share yours in the comments if you fancy it. And this is Lockdown Tinder. Albert Einstein was credited with saying that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again but expecting different results. Me downloads Tinder for the 4th time. Lockdown 2020. Is anybody getting any? Couples with kids interrupting the slightest kiss, long-term relationships spending less time under the sheets and more in the fridge, and if you're single, well, you're probably getting more action, albeit at the hands of yourself. I downloaded Tinder. I'm looking for someone who wants to jump in my pants within the first 20 seconds but doesn't try to immediately. Or someone who thinks they want to get into my pants but ends up getting into my poetry. A match with 3 people I've matched with 3 times previously, and awaiting their comments about my Tinder return induces my anxiety. One asks, why are you on Tinder? Honestly, so I can be a bit of a slut without actually having to be a slut, because it's illegal for us to meet up, which means no anxiety build up, and I don't have to make the effort to be smooth to touch. My bikini line isn't getting a look. We're just judging each other from the cover of the book, awaiting the line that keeps us hooked and sending chat up lines that suck. Another match pops up. He asks, what's the difference between a Rubik's Cube and a penis? I reply, I know my way around a penis. I can't finish a Rubik's Cube to save my life. And he swiftly asks me if I'll be his wife. Hours spent swiping right then left, bios making light of Corona and making sure I stay blessed, letting me know that if Corona doesn't take me out, then he will, or inviting us all to quarantine with him because he's got tons of loo roll. Lads who can't spell commitment in their bio about the gym. Someone states he's 6'1" because it's important that I look up to him. One says he can't even attract COVID-19 and that he'll probably feel inadequate when it leaves. Another insists meeting up is fine because this whole thing is clearly a conspiracy. Soon enough, the dating app becomes like a full-time job, which is fine because we're either out of work or waiting for work to be lost. It's a welcome distraction from thinking of how much the pandemic will cost. Let's keep it light. And play it cool because this next match is hot. So, tell me about yourself, Jemima. Well, I'm a poet. I do yoga. I'm vegetarian with some vegan qualities. A bit of a cliche. Lockdown has made me realise that my hair is going grey. I haven't seen the movie you're going to ask me about, but I can Google it enough so my answer doesn't sound fake. And a key source of anger in my life is the noise my window wipers make. I believe it's bad luck to walk under a ladder. Not because of superstition, I just think that's really fucking stupid. I've been somewhere submerged in the rainbow ever since I was a kid. If you don't drink tea, I won't trust you quite as easily. I'm too friendly to be just being friendly, but I am most likely just being friendly. But I will love you before you let me. Financially, I am struggling to struggle. I'm too deep to be fulfilled. Recently had a breakdown, currently trying to rebuild. You can see my mugshot, but you can't see the chips. And when the chips are down, you won't notice the cracks when this mug touches your lips. I can count the people I've slept with on 2 hands. If you lend me yours as well. Currently, I'm on my period and I'm hormonal as hell. I tend to reach conclusions without showing any working out. And the opinion of me I worry about the most is my own because that's the most damaging one without a shadow of a doubt. The thought of working out makes me crave pizza. I'm losing what's left of my mind since the breakdown left me with slight amnesia. I don't trust you. But that's a reflection on me, not on you. And when I tell you I run, I mean I jog and walk in between too. I have to forgive people for things that they do. In my mind. Some people call it fashionably late. I call it really fucking annoying. So please be on time. If I call you a dick, I intend it to be endearing unless you're being a dick. And if you do manage to take my breath away, I will panic. If you can't handle me at my worst, brace yourself, because it just keeps getting worse. But maybe we've been brought together today by the powers of the universe. He didn't reply. I don't think I'm his type. One of us should be embarrassed, I'm just not sure which one. Lucky for me, 3 more matches came through before he decided he was done. I like your face, says the next one. Thanks. I grew it myself. He asks what I would say my best feature is. I tell him my moustache is pretty gnarly when there's no wax left on the shelf. I take compliments really well. I swipe left on my ex's best friend. Swipe right on a pizza ad order in and overspend. Apparently, you have the same name as one of the voices in my head isn't an effective way to start a conversation. And answering questions you haven't been asked really detracts from the flirtation. I come across a lad I used to know. Swipe right, we match, say, don't I know you? Lol. He's like, yeah, how are you? You've changed since 4 years ago. The floodgates open, I overshare. He's like, wow, you're so emotional. You need to learn to let go. Not for me. Unmatch. Look at me, learning to let go. I tire of being asked for nudes by lads who travel fast for speed cameras and smile on the way through. And as the dick pics I didn't ask for begin to stack up, I decide it's time to delete my account. After one more look. Just in time. He captivates my mind as easily as my eye. He's after conversation, not pics, and appears a little shy. Or maybe just more reserved than the previous 3 or 4 guys. Either way, he has my attention. And despite initial apprehension, we message away with so much to say COVID wasn't even worth a mention. He asks me on a date the following day, which defies convention, but when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. Then add gin and get drunk on FaceTime whilst lockdown stages its intervention. We clicked as effortlessly as I clicked to take his call. The click to end, not so easy, but we both knew there'd be more. Lockdown eases. We arrange a countryside walk. Don't forget social distancing, Mum's famous last words as I leave and close the door. Of course. I wonder what his first judgment is of me, and I evaluate how well he fits the one I preconceived. Maybe it was because for the first time in months we both felt free, but when we met we immediately felt a sense of relief. I mean, sex is great, but have you ever been freed from a lockdown? We speak and we meet every day for the following few weeks. We delete Tinder. Oh, it just got serious. But I don't need to learn to love again. For some reason, it's the one thing I can never forget. And I'm not looking for anything, but if I find something, I want everything. I'm talking marriage, kids, and debt. He reminds me of no one, which reminds me not to treat him like just anyone. His insecurities check with me that I'm not about to run, that I'm not just looking for fun, that I want to find the one, and my inhibitions are gone. He is winging it, and so am I. But 2 wings mean a bird can fly. Love is patient. Love is kind. But a crush is frustration and losing your mind. 3 days pass, he still hasn't replied. My butterflies have torn wings. Finding out a certainty isn't certain is quite disconcerting. I've messaged him flirting, checking in, telling him I'm hurting, asking if for him this was just a fling, for him to do the decent thing. I can't live in a semi-detached relationship. I'd rather not settle in at all. I want to be someone's first thought when they're busy, not bored. But you can't find that in a lockdown. When he finally came around, my name got lodged in his throat and made him choke. There's 2 sides to every story, but his was fiction and mine was fantasy. I told him, I've forgiven you already. Just say it. Knowing this relationship has sailed, but the friendship can't sink and become a wreck, I've forgiven you for me. I'm selfish, you see, and I can see you are too. If you think I'm a mug, drop me. Like Kintsugi, I'll piece myself back together with gold. Keep the repair as an important part of my history. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Hot as fuck and should have worn protection, but you live and learn when you get burned. Don't make yourself someone else's world if you plan on temporarily offering them your bedroom. It's not cool to leave things how you didn't find them and just assume they will resume. He left. Like I was never the reason he was there. And I won't give this poem an ending because I won't finish what he started. That wouldn't be fair. Don't look for yourself inside someone else. You might find they keep you in the back of their mind. And there is a fine line between love and heartbreak. My self-worth crashes down around me and I can see that building from debris is going to be tough, but it's okay if he can't see a future with me. Because I can. And I am enough. Albert Einstein was credited with saying that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Me. Downloads Tinder for the 5th time. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. And if you don't like the video, like and subscribe anyway, because it's nicer than not doing that. Albert Einstein was credited with... Okay, that was line 1, that's not a good start. Albert Einstein was credited with saying that... I wonder what his first judgment is of me. And I evaluate how well he fit the ones... And don't make yourself someone else's world if you plan on temporarily. Don't make yourself someone else's world if you plan on... Someone's just started vacuuming. I'm just going to have to do it with a vacuum in the background. It's life, innit? Trying to take away rubbish. Basically a metaphor for life. How poetic. I've been looking for so long at the camera now, and there's a ring light behind the camera that all I can see when I look at my book to look at the words is the ring light. Currently on my period and I'm hormonal as hell. Oh, damn it. Couples with kids interrupting the slightest kiss. Long-term relationships. Albert Einstein was credited with saying that the definition... Just spat on myself. I wonder what his first judgment is of me, and I wonder what his first judgment is... Someone states he's 6'1" because it's important. Here we go again. Albert Einstein was credited with saying that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. Almost like me doing this poem over and over again and expecting it to go better the next time.